Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Gemini. If Gemini is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Let's see, what do these tea leaves have to say? All right. And so, our card for tonight is the Hanged Man. I know. It's one of those ones that you get and you think, oh goodness, what does this mean? But I have to say it is one of my most favorite cards, most favorite archetypes, because it means we are in a place where we are ready to let go of things that maybe do not serve us any longer. Okay, and that is wonderful because it lightens the load, doesn't it? All right. Okay, so let's start right here. And now it looks like we have a person holding what looks like a large bird. I imagine some kind of raptor bird. You think of the pictures of somebody wearing one of those little guards on their wrist, on their hand and their wrist, and they have a big bird sitting there and it has those little blinder things on, and they're gonna let it go. It's gonna go off. It's gonna, I don't know, what do they do, hunt? And so I feel like in this case, seeing something like that, it is it's a sign of taming the wildness to some degree, right? Tempering of self. But I also think that this is kind of finding a harmony in a place that seems like it would be impossible, right? A friendship, a balance, a connection between two beings that, you know, you would never imagine could get along. But it happens, right? I love those videos, those little compilation kind of things where they show all the different animals that are like, oh, it's a, you know, like a dog and a bear and they're best friends or whatever. But yeah, so I think that in this case, we have one, there is a sharp wildness to you. Okay, you are a creature of the sky. You have a sharp mind. You are probably very intelligent, good with words. You have the ability to create, maybe like a writer, okay, or you know, somebody who, like a comedian, okay. I think a lot of Gemini, or a lot of comedians are Gemini. Well, I don't know if that's true or not. It seems like it though, right? Now I'm gonna go and look that up to see what are the stats on comedians, stand-up comedians. But I could see this being something that a Gemini could totally be. Funny, a little bit cynical. Great observation. all that being said, I think that you have been working a lot on bringing some of the stuff down a notch. I think when you were younger, sometimes your mouth got the best of you, probably put you in places of trouble, maybe in school with your family, you know, maybe was hard on some of your relationships. But I think, you know, you, hopefully anyways, you get older, you start to realize how you affect people and in your situation, the circumstances of your life, by how you speak to others. And you kind of reel it in a bit and save it for when, you know, it really needs to be brought out. But also on top of that, I think that there is definitely a bond in your life that is important, but it's maybe with somebody or something that seems out of, you know, people would consider kind of different. I don't know what that it would be exactly, but I do see another person standing here, and I'm trying to see. I almost feel like through something that you spend your time doing, or something that you are bonded with. And I almost wonder if this is maybe not another person. Maybe like you have a very kind of specific interest that seems like most people wouldn't guess you're into this. Okay. So like, you know, you're like a nice grandma, but you have a bunch of tarantulas or something like that. And it's silly to think that these stereotypes kind of would exist. But, you know, there are things where you're like, oh, wow, that I did not guess that you would be into that. Well, anyways, I think through this you have met somebody, a friend, maybe a love interest, companion, fellow enthusiast. And it feels like there is, you know, kind of a bond emerging there. I feel like I'm trying to see what they're like raising up, but it almost seems like they're handing something to you. So I feel like there's a sense of mutual building there. So I'm interested if you do have some kind of, you know, interesting hobby, passion, maybe a creative medium that most people wouldn't guess. Leave it in the comments. I want to know, what do you do? What is your thing? What are you so interested in? All right. And up here we have, I almost wonder if our person that you were talking about over here, because I see there's an arrow right there and it's pointing up here. I'm wondering if they're a Virgo or a Scorpio. One of the two. We have the big M. They might have an M name, but it seems like maybe they are one, maybe, I don't know. I can't tell what it is, but I think maybe a Virgo, maybe a Scorpio. And I don't really, that doesn't give me much more. But I am looking over here. Okay, so we also have a Z over here, down here. We have a Z. And this one looks like somebody carrying something. I thought at first, I was like, oh, is that a pizza box? Are you having pizza? If you're having pizza, let me know, because I want to come over. No, I do think that this is almost kind of, and I think this has to do with that hanged man energy. It is, you guessed it, maybe you didn't, but it is that time when we have to give something up, make a sacrifice, sacrifice of self. And another reason I like getting the hanged man, because I know it's time for me to kind of force myself to pick something in my life that I'm going to put down for a while, at least a while. It doesn't have to be forever. I don't like forevers. So I tell myself I'm going to give this up for a couple days at least. And then I challenge myself to do a couple weeks. And then maybe a couple months, right? And that's how we kind of do it. What will we be quitting? I have to think of something. What will I be quitting? I don't know. What will I be quitting? The first thing that comes to mind is I really just want to quit too much sugar. I mean, that's my big thing. I gotta quit the sugars. And I have gotten rid of a lot of it in my life. But I like it in my coffee in the morning. And that's the last kind of holdout for me. And so I feel like I'm just gonna have to go with black coffee for a while. Or like coffee with just some maybe a little bit of, I usually do soy milk, so maybe a little bit of soy milk. But maybe that's going to be it for me. This week, I'm going to have no sugar in my coffee. And, well, that's what we'll do. That is mine. Hopefully, maybe there's something that you can think of, Gemini. And I'm not picking on you. Anytime I get this card, whoever gets this card for their reading, I do challenge you to quit something. Just put it down. It doesn't have to be anything big, okay? It could be anything at all, okay? Start with something that's kind of manageable, right? Let's see. So we have a heart right up here. I feel like the universe is, full of love for you. This cycle, always it is, right? But I think that you are being shown that you are thought of, you are cared for. It is evident in the ease that you are having. And, oddly, I think that this makes sense with you giving something up. It is almost kind of an act of devotion, kind of a vote of sacrifice. But, not in the old way that we might think. It is, I think, important for us to sometimes give up the things that, it doesn't have to be vice. It could just be something that we do enjoy. And not that I'm saying we should give up all the things we like, but I think, as kind of an effort towards some moderation and opening up space in our lives, sometimes we just do get too comfortable, right? We just have to kind of challenge ourselves at times. On the other side of things, maybe our life is too challenging and things are too, it's too much. Some days, right? We're just too busy, not enough sleep, whatever is going on, it is overwhelming. And so in these kinds of configurations, then I would think, or I would say that giving up something, that you can, if you can find something in your schedule that is not necessary, give it up for a week. Okay. If you can go without dusting the house for a week, or, only doing one load of laundry for the next few days, whatever it is that you can do. I mean, I know some of these are unreasonable things, but, just allotting yourself a little bit more time to have a tiny bit more rest, one less thing to fret over, and then you can pick it back up. Okay. Now we have, it looks like a moth, but it also kind of that, well, it's not in flight, obviously, so it's in a restful position, but these big antennae make me think, okay, this might be this might be an interesting looking little moth here. And so I feel like in your heart of hearts, there is, just this ever desire really drawing you towards the lightness of life. Okay. And so I also think that, you probably should, if you can, during this cycle of time, look for things where you find that bit of grace, something divine. If you have ever felt like when you walked into maybe a church, a sacred space, maybe like an ancient site, if you have visited, historical sites, or gone into the forest, and there is a sense of the universe being divine and holy, the great beauty. It seems like it is filled with spirit, and it is easy to be connected to that. I feel like this is a good time for you to seek out an experience like this, whatever that is for you. If you have a favorite place to go to kind of contemplate, if there is a place you go to worship, if there is, a group of people that when you are together and aligned, you feel activated, whatever it is, I think that, there's something going on for you that you want to kind of, there's a sense of wanting to shed the extra that is just really, it's not very fulfilling right now. Okay. And I feel like you're kind of dragging along with some of these things. And really there is like this thirst to go to a place where you feel received by the universe, by spirit, by God, by goddess, whatever it is that you believe in, or whatever it is that makes sense to you. Okay. And I don't think that is an abnormal feeling at all. I think we all have that fairly often. How we fulfill that, or what kinds of things do we do to kind of fill ourselves up, or experience, put ourselves in an experience where this feels very close to us. That's dependent on each individual. It can look very different, of course. And that's the beauty of life, right? We're all very different beings. We all have our own unique paths. Everything, that you experience is valid. And, there is no one right or wrong way. I've said this on here before. I love the idea that there are as many ways to God or the divine as there are beings or souls on earth or in the universe, right? It is always an individual thing, and incredibly inclusive on that level, right? So that's a wonderful, wonderful thing to understand. Okay, so we also have a goat right here, and you can see his little beard. He looks like he's maybe taking a bit of a rest. And, you know, this is kind of that wise old goat. I think that, you know, through the things that you have experienced, you have the wisdom to know what it is you want and need. Oftentimes, I think it's just a matter of really devoting ourselves to doing that thing, right? Or those things. I think that so often we live in a time when we're more busy juggling, you know, our domestic life, our relationships, how we make money, you know, our hopefully some creative, hopefully some leisure, spiritual. I mean, it's just so much packed into 24 hours, you know, and it's always happened. It's just never, you know, never not going on, it seems like. So, you know, I think that it's easy for us to know, like, okay, I know that I need to take time to meditate. Okay, I know that I need intentional movement. I know I need to get extra sleep. I know that, you know, whatever it is. I know that I want to go to church. I want to go to mass. I want to go to, you know, whatever. But we find other things, or there are other things. We find reasons to deprioritize these calls of the soul, of the mind, body, soul. And, you know, when it comes to the end of everything for ourselves, we look back and we think, you know, yeah, we worked hard. You know, we hopefully spent a good amount of time with our family. But gee, you know, I wish that I pursued those things that were speaking to me, you know, that came through my heart, that were in my mind, the seeds that were planted, and, you know, maybe did not spend enough time nourishing. And so I think, you know, you kind of think of this, you know, the wise old goat kind of looking back thinking, you know, maybe I should have worked a couple less hours if I could. Maybe I should have spent less time on my phone, or, you know, oh goodness, the one that I think about is traffic, being in traffic all the time. I moved away from the city, and when I go to the city now, even just being in traffic for 20 minutes, I think to myself, how did I even live like this before? And I know so many of us do. I spent most of my life living in traffic. I mean, ridiculous amounts. But it adds up. It's so much of our life. And it becomes almost, you know, you can't even fathom. So anyways, not to, you know, I have much love for those of you who commute. And I know if you live in a densely populated area, you know, it's part of life. And hopefully you can make use of that time doing something. But, you know, it's a lot. So listen to those impulses. Listen to those spiritual impulses calling out to you. Okay, let's see. We have some anxiety here. Lots of anxiety, it looks like. And I think this is probably why you're thinking, I need to find some sense of control in my life. I feel like things aren't necessarily going wrong. It's just a lot. Okay, so cutting back where you can, you know, maybe doing some kind of house cleansing. That's my big goal this week, is another one. cleaning up some stuff. I got some storage stuff coming, some more, you know, things to kind of organize learning, you know, whatever, the learning tools for my daughter, crafting stuff, and some of the toys, and that is my big priority. Cleaning some stuff out, you know, and I feel this right here. When I walked in the house today, I thought, oh my goodness, okay, this is what we're doing. We're gonna get into that fall cleaning before, you know, the winter sets in. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. And so I think that, you know, something similar for you. Do some cleansing. Organize your area. Here's the best place to start, for real. Get your room cleaned out. Okay? If you have a lot of stuff in there, take out as much as you can, put it away, whatever. Put it in the closet. Find places to store it under your bed, whatever. Only the things you need. You know, I'm not here to tell anybody exactly what to do, but I find, because I was a person who like dwelled in my bedroom even as an adult, and I had everything was in there. It was like all centered around, you know, coming home. I waited tables. I came home. I was exhausted. I just wanted to be, you know, showered in bed. All my stuff was there. And I barely even would use my living rooms. So, but now I realize that I need to have a place where there's barely anything. It's very sparse, and I go and I sleep, and that's what I do there, and I get better sleep because of it. It is a serene place. You have the little white noise thing, the fan, and you know, keep the bed made, and it's just very, very minimal cleaning, doing the floors, the bedding, you know, whatever. You know how it goes. And it feels like a safe space, right? It feels like somewhere you can go. It's not overwhelming. So it doesn't have to be your bedroom, but I think that's one of the most important. It's really good for your sleep if you don't have a lot of stuff, okay, in there. You don't feel cluttered. Although I know some of us, you know, live in smaller homes, apartments. I've always lived in apartments until recently. So I get it. It's hard. If you have roommates, even, you know, that's your bedroom is like your whole universe. But, you know, if you can find a way to kind of hide some of the stuff from view, at least, it will be helpful. It makes a big difference. I really believe that. So, maybe, you know, something to think about. All right, we're going to do the lightness of being. Oh my goodness, you guys. It's been a long day. We had so much today. I feel like I'm on, like, what is there, 9 innings? I'm on like the 12th inning of my day. Okay, so the lightness of being affirmation cards. Okay, and these are the earth ones. Last week we used the air ones. And I'm gonna show you that. It's really, really pretty, these little hand-painted cards. I'm gonna open this one up. Oh, I like it. It's kind of simplistic. I like the greens. It says, divine will, trust. Nature creates in stillness. Gently breathe this in. Surrender to unknown love. Yeah, I like that. It's nice. And I think that it highlights looking for that place of stillness, right? Kind of being in a place that is where you can breathe, right? Less stimuli, less things to worry about, finding some ease, taking your time, letting go of some of those things that are not a priority right now. Okay. All right. I'm going to thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps us get in the algorithm, and that helps us grow the channel. If you have not subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. And if you want to leave a comment, please do. I read every single one of them. And it might take me a day or two to get back to you because I reply to all of them. And yeah, this will be coming out on Sunday, so I might be a little behind on my comments, but I'm going to try my best tonight and tomorrow morning to get back on schedule. We really packed it in for a Saturday today. We had a lot going on. And that's okay, but I'm ready for a little bit of a slower day tomorrow. I'm going to mow the lawn and do my comments. All right. Thank you, and we will talk again real soon.